morning! It's mud time! I'm here to do the Shropshire Way at the Shropshire Discovery Centre. It's a beautiful morning, the sun is just rising. We've had a rather wet night in the tent where I camped last night, but it's looking like a beautiful morning. But it's gonna be muddy out there today. I re-entered this race this year on the basis it couldn't be any muddier than last year. There were bits last year we seemed to be skiing down some of the slopes rather than walking. I think it's gonna be muddier after the amount of rain we've had for the last 3 months. But it's a beautiful day to be out enjoying running and walking in the Shropshire Hills. Can't wait to get started and to enjoy all the food on the way round. So let's see how this goes.
First round, touch the sky in the sun.
Okay, 1 minute to the start.
Almost ready to go. Sun has just crested the hill. Let's give this our best.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're off. There's no point running to begin with because it's an immediate traffic jam. A few gates and stiles and bridges to navigate before we really can sort of thin out and get going properly. Field ahead and the sun casting beautiful glow over the field as we cross over the river. Well, I can confirm that it's already definitively squelchier underfoot than last year. We could have very wet feet by the end of this run. We'll have a higher blister count. We'll wait and see, or whether the deck shell socks do their magic. But we're off running now, or squelching, should I say, across the field. We are into the woodland and it is squelchy squirch mudfest underfoot. The poles are out in use for the first time just to try and give you some extra stability. God, it's fun. We're just going through a field of oilseed rape, a glowing yellow field, but underneath it's like glue trying to suck our feet in. It is really sticky through here. We have just made the climb up through the woods, which was arduous. We were either sliding backwards or being glued in spot by the mud. It was phenomenal. Actual river of mud running down it at one point. Quite incredible. But beautiful views over the hills. Now we're up on the ridge a bit, running through the woodland. Fabulous. We have just done clip 1 and then was the descent I was dreading. This was a mudslide last year and it's only going to be worse this year. It is just pure mud down here. As we're descending through the mud, all I can hear is whoops and hollers as people are slipping and sliding their way down. It is treacherous underfoot, absolutely incredible. My feet are just brown blobs on the end of my legs. Well, I didn't think that descent could get any harder than last year, but it could. It was a complete mudslide. Absolutely incredible. The poles I was very thankful for, definitely helping out today in all this mud to just give you that bit of extra stability. So definitely a worthwhile investment. But everywhere is just a mud quagmire. Wow. We're enjoying a nice bit of firm road running at the moment, but up ahead of us we can see the hill that we have to go straight up and then straight back down again. It's a steepie. It's the one that I'm really looking forward to testing out my poles on.
Hi everybody! Hi!
We are doing the dreaded up and down climb. God, at least the wind is helping me up the hill, if you can hear me over it. But boy, it's brutal. Holy moly! We've made it! On the top of the world! Checkpoint 2 is reached. Top of the climb. God, it's brutal. And the wind up here, if you can even hear me, is phenomenal. Right, down we go! Well, we're back down. It certainly made the descent a lot easier with the poles. So that was definitely a massive help. Legs don't feel quite as destroyed coming down that hill. But wow, it was incredible on the top of there. Absolutely awesome. Just coming up to the village hall, which is our first man checkpoint, and snacks. Cold buffet, if I remember rightly. It's on with cold sausages and things like that. Scrummy.
Number 150, 150.
It's a bit fun, that, isn't it? While I'm refueled on sausages, bit of cheese, some crisps, a couple of glasses of Coke, and some mini Cadbury's Easter eggs. Interesting buffet. But carrying on up now, and I think it's back up again. It is actually next in order, if I remember rightly. We have ticked off 10 miles, now climbing up the Long Mynd. See if we spot any wild ponies this year. But views round about us are fabulous, and it definitely suddenly starts to get a lot more wild in this area. And quite hard work. Along the ridge with a company of wild ponies and beautiful landscape round about us. Wow, what a fabulous way to spend a Saturday. It might mean missing a parkrun today, which is a shame, but I think this makes it worth it. Just amazing scenery and landscape to run through, or walk through for some of it. Trig point reached on top of the Long Mynd, hills spread out around us, wind trying to blow us off the ridge. What a fabulous day. But there's also blue skies. I love the twisted shapes of the trees down this bit of trail. I've done this many times on Denzel's How Hard Can It Be events races as well that come up here. God, this wind. Well done, mate.
You did a grand job. Enjoy it.
The Slippy stones are up ahead of us, looking craggy against the skyline. Really wild out here with the gorse and so on, reminds me of Scotland. We're on the craggy, windswept top of the Slippy stones now. Shropshire and Wales spread out around us. Heather by the side of the path. And the imposing trig point on top of the stones just up ahead. We are descending from the steeper stones now. Dropped out of the wind a little bit so I could talk to you. We're descending down to the place where I believe fidget pie is going to be in store for us. So, lunchtime refuelling. Spot on timing as well. It's just coming up to 1 o'clock for me. Some unusual sheep in the field next to me at the moment. Curly horns and little cute black lambs. I would have loved that. It's time for fidget pie. This event is definitely a sort of walking picnic, really. Just picked up my fidget pie from that food station. Enjoyed a packet of crisps as well while I was there. A couple of glasses of Coke and some few chocolate eggs again. So well refueled and ready to start trekking on. Just walking through some lovely bit of woodland at the moment with the wind whistling through the trees and rather muddy still underfoot. There's a lovely variety of landscape on this walk, from pastures through to craggy tops and woodland walks as well. So yeah, a real mixture. An amazing stately home just over there, nestled in these hills. That'd be an amazing place to live. As we drop down a bit now, I can talk again. It's so windy up on the tops that there's no chance of talking. The wind would take my voice away, even if the microphone managed to pick it up if I could speak. I have just ticked over 25 miles, so according to our watch, I'm now over halfway, which is a nice feeling to have. Not sure exactly how accurate that is, but it certainly feels good to have got to that point where I'm now counting down as opposed to counting up, as I feel like. Just walking into Bishop's Castle, which is the site of the next checkpoint, and some interesting murals on walls here as well. Remember that from last time. Well, refueled in Bishop's Castle and a lovely little walk through the place. It's actually a really lovely little place. One of those places I was walking through it and think must come back here and explore it properly, because it does look really lovely. Lots of quirky little shops and things to explore, so must get back here. Lovely church here as well. We have ticked over 30 miles now, counting down in the teens, which is a nice feeling. But it's definitely a case of mind over body today for this last part. My legs are definitely feeling the effects of wading through mud, sliding down mud, getting stuck in mud. All of that has definitely taken its toll and they're feeling a little weary. But it's a beautiful day in the Shropshire countryside. We had a brief shower earlier, but the sun's back out, blue skies and the clouds chasing shadows over the fields. I've reached Reeth Top Checkpoint, which is a favourite with the walkers and runners on the Shropshire Way. The reason being, it's basically a cafe in a barn. We are enjoying some meat stew up here in the barn. Very much needed at this point in the race. Well, that stop didn't disappoint. Not only does it refuel the body, but actually it refuels the mind as well. Just a chance to chat to the people there, sit down for a moment, though my legs are complaining slightly about having to get back up again. I'm doing that slightly funny walk at the moment until they free off, but also just that, just nice hot sweet cup of tea. Always great when I'm out on a run, and just, lovely to meet up with some of the other runners who come in as you're sitting there, and just a bit of camaraderie and social time really. Back on with it now. The sun is shining, though it does look a bit menacing over the hills, so we'll see how long it stays dry for and keep moving along. Really enjoying a nice steady downhill road section after leaving the farm, which is actually managing to get my legs trotting and running along. The one thing that gets steadily more difficult the further you go on are stiles, and the one just here. Ooh, made it. Another checkpoint ticked off, and a bit of a climb to do now. I remember this from last time. The checkpoint was the harbinger of a tough climb to come. Well, I've forgotten what a challenge that bit of hill was. Straight up, no relenting. Oh, it's been tough, but we're getting there.
Think how well your feet are exfoliated.
Yeah, I think I don't want to look at the state of my feet right now, to be honest.
That or trench foot, anyway.
Yeah, I think that might be more likely. Thank you, thanks for being out here cheering. Well, lovely to have a bit of cheer as we got to the top of that hill. And now we've got a bit of descent. It's an up and down dale route at the moment. Up the fields, down the fields, up the field, down the field. And they're steep, which on tired legs is not exactly easy. Well, the good weather could only last so long. The rain has found us, being battered by the wind and the rain right now. God, it's wild. And I quite like it. We're just at the last food checkpoint, enjoying a bowl of soup and another cup of tea, and then it's back out into the dark for the last 10 miles of the course. A couple of checkpoints we do have to find on the way just to clip, and then it's the finish. God, it's going to be tough. We're refueled, and this will be the last bit of filming until we get to the finish. It is now pitch black out there, torches on, and I won't be doing any filming. It'll just be about keeping moving to get to that finish. See you at the finish. Checkpoint 11 has been reached. Oh, this is tough.
Total honesty at this point, I was unsure of whether I had it in me to get to the end, or whether I would have my first ever DNF. I was really thankful to a group of participants who allowed me to join them for the journey to the finish as we left the clunge checkpoint. Their support and encouragement as we battled the elements, tramping up steep hills and through muddy fields, kept me going, and it was great to celebrate together as we headed into Craven Arms.
Well, it's the morning after the day before, just reflecting on what was the toughest event I have ever done. Did it last year? It was hard, but you know, it was doable. This year, the mud and everything else really took its toll. Last year took just under 15 hours, this year over 20. But made it. Slept on the campsite here at the finish last night. Just saying hello for my mammoth while I wait for my lift. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have, then you know what to do. Please hit that subscribe button and do check out our video from last year, or our Snowdonia Marathon video as well. That might tickle your fancy if you're like this sort of thing. See you on another little adventure soon. Bye!